Hello everybody and welcome to another fly tying session with your host Scott. In this session we're going to be tying a very simple lure pattern known as the Fritz Tadpole. This can be tied in pretty much whatever colour you like. Black obviously. This one's going to be tied in hot orange. You can do it in white, red, olive, you name it, you can do it. And we're only going to need a few ingredients for it. This one's great for the beginners. In fact, one of the first flies I ever tied was the red version of this to fish a pool. We used to call the chicken farm. Unfortunately, it's not open anymore, but we used to do quite well with this pattern there. You only need a few bits and bobs to do it. We're going to need a B405 size 10 or any standard shank size 10 hook. I'm using, in this particular version, a 3.3mm gold bead. You can use hot beads, you can use different size beads to alter the weight of the fly. You can tie them on size 12s as well if you prefer. I wouldn't recommend going smaller than a 12 because of the materials being used, they're quite bulky. But there we are. The thread that we're going to use is uni thread in fire orange. We're going to be using a hot orange Marabou. This is some I've dyed myself, which was originally white. And we're going to be using some hot orange Fritz. I think this is either a 10 or a 12mm one. You can use a 15mm one, or you can use one even finer. You just need to use more of it. So let's get started. I'm going to put a bed of thread down. Now I normally stop where the thread lines up with the point of the hook, about there, and then trim away. Then we're going to get a sizable bunch of Marabou. Now you can leave this as long or as short as you like. If you tie it without a tail, which is possible as well, it's obviously not a tadpole at that point, but it's more like a blob pattern, which can be quite effective as well. So you get yourself a decent plume, and we're going to get rid of all this fluff here to tie it in. That just gets rid of the bulk. It doesn't matter so much with this particular fly in all fairness, but it's good to get into the habit of doing it. And you want to tie that in nice and tight. We're going to trim the tag ends the length of the body to keep the body even. You want to use your grade 2 scissors for most of this fly. And then we're going to tidy up. This is a great one for the beginners, and you can fill your box with them quite quick as well. There's not a lot to them. So then we're going to come in and build some thread up behind the brass bead. Now if you do it at an angle like that, the thread will be encouraged to go inside the concave part of the bead, and then it will eventually fill up and then lock it off. You only want to do just enough just to lock the bead off so it doesn't slide down the shank of the hook like so, because you need to leave some room to tie in the Fritz, which is a very bulky material. There we are. In all fairness, that would catch a fish that's on the hook now. So we're going to get our bit of Fritz. We're just going to strip like so, just to reveal the rope in the centre, or the centre core. Quick loose turn just to tie it in, and then Go down to the bead. Doesn't need to be neat at all. Now it might be worth taking a bit of care over this next part. So you want to put tight turns and brush back between turns. That helps you to get even coverage and a fairly decent looking shape as well. And that'll probably be the last turn. We get, yeah, there. And then tie it in. You want to be quite tight with the thread. There we are. And then get your grade 2 scissors and trim close. And you want to brush it back, so you're just revealing the bead, and then start building your head. You're still going to get a few strands escaping, but don't worry about that too much. And then you're going to finish off with either a whip finish or some half hitches. It's completely up to you. I prefer to half hitch, as you've probably noticed if you've watched my channel. Now you can even mix the colours up on these particular fly patterns. You can use a particularly good one is a Chartreuse Fritz with a white tail. It's a cat's whisker combination. A Chartreuse body with black Marabou in the tail. You can use a black body with Chartreuse Chartreuse tail, which is a Viva version of it. You can do lots of different things with it. Now I recommend tying these in lots of different colours. Tie one on, fish it at different depths with varied retrieves, give each fly a decent chance, and if you still have no interest, change the colour and do the same until you find a fish. There we are. I've took the time to tidy it up a bit for the camera, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. And then you just want to drop a varnish really, just to hold it together. If you use quite a runny varnish, one that's been diluted with acetone, I'd recommend that with this particular pattern. And then we want to come in and we want to adjust the length of the tail to your desired length. You put the Marabou between finger and thumb and then pinch. It's a bit messy. There we go. The other thing you can do is you can put flash into the tail if you desire. There's loads of things you can do with this pattern, but this is the basic one. The other thing you can do is just trim the fritz a little bit to get the shape that you want. If you tie it without a tail, it's pretty much a blob as well, and they work just as well. And there we have it, the Fritz Tadpole. This particular version in hot orange. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I certainly hope the beginners out there are inspired to have a go, because this one's quite an easy one to do and it will catch you a fish. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. And I will see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.